These ethical dilemmas are situations that have come up in real time in the past, and we're going to talk about them in class and kind of debate why they came up, how they evolved, and what you feel like the appropriate resolution would be. And we'll compare your decision making with some of the real decisions that were made. Now, the first ethical dilemma that we're going to talk about, the circumstances will be that we have a candidate who is gay, and every time you've brought up this story to your editors, they say that this person's sexual orientation is their own business. But suddenly, a local newscast leads with a story that highlights his activities in the local gay community, and he's still declining comment, but the story's out. You think that the candidate should be allowed to keep his private life private, but you also have to now weigh in on the news judgment of this. If you don't go with it, it looks like you can't develop the information. What's the sense of sticking to your scruples if the story's out? So we're going to talk about this story. Now, the next story we're going to talk about has to do with Florida, 1975. 6 young women were found dead in the drainage canals in Dade and Broward counties. There was similarities to Jack the Ripper, and people of Florida were pretty stressed out about this. Reporters were searching for links between the killings, and one thing they found was the victim's car. They had a flat tire, and they found there was another victim's car with a flat tire, and they were both in shopping centers. So their idea was that maybe the killer was flattening the tires, and then he was offering to help. Now, the police, it turned out, had come up with a similar idea, and they had found a witness who was approached by someone, and he freaked her out, so she didn't go with him. She fled, and she provided a partial description, and the police hadn't publicized the incident, and they asked the reporters not to publicize this information. So we're going to talk about this real case and what the ramifications were. And then finally, I want you to take a look at this picture. Stanley Foreman, who was responding to a fire in 1975, he worked for the Boston Herald. He shot 19-year-old Diana Bryant. She is the one on the bottom of this photo. And her 2-year-old goddaughter, Tara Jones. They both fell when their fire escape broke. And although Jones, the younger girl, lives, Bryant dies when she hits the ground. Now the question is, do you take the shot? Do you run the shot? How do you make the determination as to what happens with this photo? And I'll let you know what did happen and what resulted from the publication of this photo.